Welcome back to Pulse of Cyber Command. My name is Terrence. Thank you to all returning commanders and new, because you command your own life. Today we will be reacting to 2024 cybersecurity trends. Now, I do like to stay up on all the latest trends in cloud computing as well as artificial intelligence. Of course, we've all heard and you've read and understand that AI is changing the landscape of not just tech, but also cybersecurity, and especially cybersecurity. So here I am reacting to cybersecurity trends by IBM Technology. This is the security guy, and it looks like he's got a list of specific trends to look out for this year. So let's go ahead and get right into it.
Last year, I did a video on cybersecurity trends. And in that, I talked about artificial intelligence. And I thought that was going to be important. It's turned out to be very important, and it's going to be even more important as we go forward. By the way, is my hair really that gray? In the next deepfake, we're going to fix that. Okay, let's take a look at the future. What I'm sure of is that the future will look something like the past. And in fact, one of the things we'll see in the future are more AI-based threats. But more on that in a few minutes. What we're going to see, though, also is that change is the only constant. So that means things will be similar to the past, but there will also be new things that we're going to take a look at. One of the new things that I think is on the positive side is that we're going to see a move away from passwords toward passkeys. There's a new standard called FIDO that allows you to not have to send a password, but in fact do something that is simpler, easier to use, and more secure. We don't normally get to do both of those at the same time, and we're going to need it. And what's the reason for that? Well, because AI, as I mentioned, is going to be an increasing threat vector for us. AI-based phishing emails are going to become more and more common, I expect, because they can generate what is very convincing emails to get people to try to log in or share their credentials.
Actually, it's already happening.
And this is a very efficient way of doing it. However, if you don't have a password in the first place to send, if you only have something that is a secret that stays on your system, then there's no way for someone to phish that out of you. So this is going to be a good thing to try to help against that. Now, there are other things that we can take a look at that also in the AI space, generative AI, I think we're going to see an increased use of deepfakes. These are things where we simulate
already that
the
going
voice,
on. I'm
the
seeing
image,
that in
the likeness of an individual. And in fact, deepfake technology has become so good, and it is so prevalent. In fact, if you have a mobile phone, it's probably already built into your
different
operating
posts
system
on social media
cases.
with
you may not know about it,
deepfakes.
but it's there. So you
Even
could
some
use this
YouTube
kind of
videos
technology
I've seen
to
people,
fake someone out, have them believe something
you
that's
know,
not
actually
true.
demonstrate
For instance, have someone call a relative and say, "I need money." It sounds like it's your voice.
I don't think that's really new. The AI phishing
So we're going to
and
need to
deepfakes.
do more
I felt
in terms of educating people about deepfakes and the threat in that
maybe
space. Because I
third,
think
fourth quarter of 2024.
And by the way, if you think deepfake detection
we
is
saw
going to be a good way
an
to go,
uptick in
I'm going to ask you
phishing
to
and
think again
deepfakes.
about that. Deepfake technology will always keep getting better, and it will eventually be to the point where I don't think detection is going to work. In many cases, we've already seen this happen. So the focus needs to be not on detecting the deepfake with some sort of technology, but building security mechanisms around it so that we're not reliant on the information that's in the deepfake itself. Other things that we're going to take a look at would be a threat that comes to us from generative AI, and that's hallucinations. And by the way, you didn't think I was going to actually write that word out when I have a magic board that can autocomplete? That's what generative AI does, right? So I'm leveraging that. Hallucinations.
Oh,
we're going to be more and more dependent upon generative AI, large language models, and chatbots to give us information. The problem is some of the information they give us isn't always right, and we call those hallucinations. And we're going to make decisions based upon that that could cause security threats to us. So my hope is that there will be other technologies, things like retrieval augmented generation, or what we call RAG technology, that will help reinforce and make this system better and more accurate. Other things that we can do to tune the models and train them better so that they don't hallucinate nearly as much going forward. And then finally, I'm going to say something, I want to leave you with a positive in terms of a look at the future, and that is there's this symbiotic relationship between AI and cybersecurity. And that is, we're going to use AI to do better job of cybersecurity. In fact, there's a lot of things that we can do in this space to leverage generative AI in order to better think about the way someone would attack us, also summarize cases and things of that sort. So I think we're going to be able to do a better job with cybersecurity by leveraging AI. By the same token,
I agree.
we're going to need to use our cybersecurity skills in order to secure this AI so that it can be trustworthy, so that we can in fact believe that the information it gives us is true.
It's definitely a
that's
cycle.
The future. And
I like how you
it's
put
not
that.
a big surprise that the future is very AI heavy.
You need
However, there's
AI
a lot of existing threats that
to
have
combat
continued to persist
AI
and will
attacks,
continue to persist as we
but
move
you
into the
also
future.
need
Let's take a quick
cybersecurity in
look
order to
at
enforce
the
and
scorecard
govern,
from last year's predictions
you know,
and see which ones of those
hallucinations and deep fakes
actually
and
came
phishing.
true
So
and which ones carry
it
forward.
makes a lot of sense.
I mentioned data breach last year when I did the video, and in fact it turns out that the cost of a data breach has continued to increase. In fact, now we're on the order of $4.5 million on average worldwide, and in the U.S. that number is almost twice as high. So that one, I'm
lacking and slacking over here in the U.S.
True. Ransomware, in fact, we've continued to see ransomware persist. The overall numbers are a little bit down, but the amount of time it takes to run one of these attacks has changed dramatically. This, according to the X-Force Threat Intelligence Index, which says that back in 2019, we were looking at 60 days on average to deploy one of these. Now we're down to about 4 days. So this is kind of a mixed bag. You know, this is
actually didn't know that.
Sort of true, sort of not true, but ransomware is going to continue to be a threat, and it's a faster threat than it used to be. Multi-factor authentication, I don't know about you, but I'm definitely seeing more websites that are offering this as an alternative, and I'm taking advantage, and you should as well.
MFA, multi-factor, you need that on all of your accounts now.
IoT,
I have it across the board.
Threats,
and I'm sure I'm probably missing a few, so I probably need to go back through my accounts.
There was in fact
double check what doesn't have MFA on it because I need it.
Attacks in this year, 2023.
IoT,
so that one has definitely continued. We don't see that one changing.
Because we got what?
I already talked about AI.
Billions
That one's
billions of
only
IoT devices across the globe.
And then quantum computing. I talked about that one last year, and in particular that quantum systems are going to one day be able to crack our cryptography. They haven't effectively done that
cryptography.
Yet, but we're 1 year closer.
I'm actually getting into that for my
studies. This is one of those you can say, well, it's sort of true. We're definitely closer to the point when that's going to become a real threat.
When quantum computing really,
not here exactly yet.
Really emerges and takes a foothold in technology, quantum cryptography is going to be crucial.
So the skills gap actually moved
keeping
from
our data
770,000
safe
open positions in the cybersecurity space
cyber criminals
to now, according to cyberseek.org, we're down to about 570,000. So that's an improvement. I predicted that we would still have a skills gap, and we do, but it actually has gone down a little bit. And
the skills gap is debatable
because we need a lot of good guys in here who are going to be able to fight the good fight. Thanks
I agree with that. We do need more people.
Interesting and would like to learn more about cybersecurity,
this is a very good video.
Like
I actually really enjoyed this one, reacting to this one. But yeah, you know, I want to know what your thoughts are on the list that the security guy provided and the cybersecurity trends in 2024. Definitely like this video, subscribe. I'll leave a link down in the description of this video. And yeah, thanks so much for dropping by. Keep your finger on the pulse of cyber, and have a good one.